Hello, my people. So basically, I am so glad to be here with you, cross-culture people. And I got a little bit of something. It's not anything beyond profound or anything, but it's an idea. It's a thought. So it's like a walk through Ronnie's devotional. Are you ready? Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so I think that okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it, Ronnie. Let's get to it. Okay, I gotta find it first. So one sec. First of all, I can't believe I'm YouTubing. Like, that is so epic. That is so not. Makeup, nana. But anyway, like, okay, let's get serious because this is what we want to talk about. And we want to talk about I'm looking for it. Wait. And yeah, I'm normally organized, so don't you be judging me. It's all coming. Okay, guys, this is coming. It's coming. Boom, we got it. Okay. So we want to talk about. Oh, this is not good. Yes, we want to talk about 1 Corinthians 8, verse 3. Are you ready? Okay. So it says, but if anyone loves God, this one, is known by him. I pondered on this verse and thought, wait, it says anyone. I mean, we literally live in a world that's exclusive. You have to have VIP passes. You have to know somebody who knows someone. I mean, even to preach at churches, you have to know someone who knows someone. But the Bible and God, I think God is very inclusive. As it says here, it says, if anyone, the key word is anyone. So it means if you love God, He knows you. He knows you by name. He knows your joys. He knows your struggles. He knows all the things that are going on in your life. He knows some of your quirky little habits and nobody else knows. He knows your favorite snack. I mean, come on. If someone knows your favorite snack, they love you. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay, seriously though. God knows God. I just said God, guys. Okay, God knows everything about you, good and bad. All of it. But He still loves you. He models unconditional love to us. He tells us. He shows us the way of living. I think one of the most profound things Jesus did for us was to die on the cross for us. Obviously, he rose from the dead and defeated death. Oh, tremble death, where is your sting? I knew I was going to burst into song at some point. But, okay, so He died for us and took the sting away from death and gave us eternal life. Ultimately, we're still on earth, right? And we have to live life here. And I think one of the most meaningful things I get from the cross or from the resurrection of Jesus is He died to right our relationship with God and to right our relationship with each other. And He didn't just do it and be like, yeah, guys, you're on your own. He then went, okay, this is how you do it. And so when He's saying, anyone who loves me, I know you, it's possibly the ultimate example of unconditional love. That no matter how far you've gone or not, God knows you because your heart is for Him. Your heart sometimes can be for Him, but your behavior or your choices or your tongue or your thoughts may not align all the time. They may not always be glorifying God, okay. But he says, he who loves God, anyone who loves God, is known by him. So that's good. That we know that God, the God of the universe, created heaven and earth, knows us. He knows you by name, and he has engraved you in the palm of his hand. And all y'all that are, okay, all y'all. Look, I've never done this before, so bear with me, right? I'm just hearing myself thinking, girl, what are you saying? But anyway, so all of us that look at tattoos and think, well, God has your name engraved, tattooed, I'm just saying, in the palm of his hand. And I feel what precious and comforting truth this is for us in a time like this. That with all that's going on, with the world turning upside down, back on its head, flipping, doing all sorts of gymnastics on us, we can be sure that God knows us. And how many of you know that if you know someone and you see them in a situation, or you see them in a place that's not comfortable, even if you might not be able to take them out of it, your thoughts towards them are always sending them. You say to people, we're sending you love, we're sending you hugs and kisses, and that's the human limitation. But the God of the universe, I am convinced that if he knows you, he knows your pains, he knows your struggles, he knows your thoughts. He would not just sit there and watch. I mean, sometimes he won't answer in the way we anticipate, but I feel like being known by a God who transcends all time and all logic and anything else, like earthly, is just a comforting thing. I mean, I imagine sometimes, like, what if I was known by, like, the guy in charge of, like, the FBI or the CIA? They just know me. I feel like I'll be, like, safe in this world because they know me, they know my name, so they're probably looking out for me, and they probably, if I get to airports, I can I don't know if I can jump the queue. I don't want to jump the queue, but I'm just saying, being known by people who know people in places is always an advantage. And I think what advantage we have that we are known by God. When I was in school, all I wanted, right, I'll tell you this, all I wanted was to be known by the teacher. Yes, teacher's pet. That was me. But I feel like I was it was a hit and miss. Because I feel like I was such a prickly character back in school. I mean, you're a child, so you don't know how to sort of fashion your behavior or attitude so that you gain favor. You're just being yourself. But there are a few teachers I remember now, and the one thing, or the reason I remember them is because they knew me. They would call me by my first name. They would see me, if you know what I mean. They would walk into the class and give me a task. Why don't you bring me the books? Why don't you walk me to the staff room? Or it was one or two, but I'll never forget those teachers because they knew me. To be known is special, I think. It can be for whatever reason, and I also actually believe that some of people that are troubled in society or that are on struggle street when it comes to the thing of life, it's this lack of assurance that someone out there knows me, right? And that someone out there sees me. The identity of being known is it's a special thing. I think about my country of birth, Zimbabwe. Yay, my peoples. So there's this thing people do called name dropping. I don't know if you guys know what name dropping is, but like, if somebody knows someone important, by the end of the conversation, you're gonna know they know them. In fact, I don't think it's just a country thing. Even here, where I live, and anywhere else I've been in the world, it's if somebody knows someone important, or is known, or thinks they are known by someone important, you are going to know. It's not going to go unsaid. Why? Because there's a value that is placed on you or on people by virtue of who knows them, or by virtue of who they are associated with. Like, if I think, like, for instance, if Justin Bieber knew me, I wouldn't. You don't even know. I'm just joking, but you know what I mean. Like, if somebody knows you, someone of great value or great esteem, like they're a person of in authority or of influence, them knowing you can literally be a game changer in your life or in my life. That's what I think. Okay, so back to the script. I have here some thoughts about God knows you. He's the creator of the universe. He knows all. He reigns over all. And he says he'll never leave you, nor forsake you. And how many know you cannot say you won't leave or forsake someone you don't actually know? You have to know someone if you're going to stick to them that closely. So the comforting truth, I know how do those things relate? Okay, the comforting truth is God has you on his heart. He has you on his heart day, night, evening. And he knows you not because you've been good, not because you left the cookies out for Santa Claus, or you did your chores, or you gave in church, or you're on every single team, including the welcoming, connecting, and hosting, singing, every team in church. Not because of that, but because your heart is towards him. You just love God, and you have a desire, like, to be in relationship with him, whatever that looks like for all of us. And even if you're not sure, because I'm thinking some people will be thinking, how do I know I love God? Well, I guess there are a lot of things we love, but you don't even, sometimes you don't, the degree of it is what makes you think, I don't really love that thing because I don't love it a lot. I think in this scripture here, it's all inclusive. It says if anyone loves God. It doesn't elaborate, like if you love him a lot or a little, or it's just if you love God, he knows you. And guess what? He still knows you, even if you struggle with the concept of God, or you struggle with the concept of like there being this mighty being somewhere out there who's unseen and touched. He still knows you, because his love it doesn't have reciprocal conditions. Although it would be very beneficial for you and I to be in relationship with him, he would still love us anyway, even if we didn't. Because while we yet sinners, he loved us and died for us. 2, for the purpose of being in relationship with us. Okay. So my encouragement is embrace this truth in all you do, because I think if you embrace this truth, it might take a load off your shoulders a bit of being in this relationship with God that involves task and doing and putting in the effort. And I've heard it said that God's not going to do this if you don't do this. God's not going to do this, and that can mess with your mind. I know it can mess with you, and it can make it look like this is such an impossible mammoth task, this God concept, because I have to be this perfect person that in some parts of the world that stops drinking, stops smoking, stop partying, and there are these rules and regulations that are put in place, that if you want any part in this God thing, you have to be that and do that. And this is such a reassuring truth, that if your heart is just towards God and it loves, if your heart is like, God, I'm cool with you, he knows you, and in knowing you, he is provoked to action as such. And his action is always to give you a hope and a future, to give you a life that, I'm not talking about an easy life or like slide down the water slide kind of life and dive into a cool pool of water on a 36-degree hot day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to give you a life that even when there's storms and there's struggles, there's challenges, you can still journey it with a knowing and with an assurance that there is a hope for better days, better things, better places, better people, a better you, more like. Because you are known by a God who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above anything you ask or think of. So he's even reading your thoughts and thinking before you even think of it, I'm doing it. Like, I love one concept that I learned once upon a time is that God is more ready to answer your prayer than you are to pray. That's incredible. Like, he's waiting on the edge thinking, I know you want to pray that thing. It's there. Before you even say, while you're yet thinking, before you even pray, this is how much he knows you. He's in your deepest, most secret thoughts that you think, oh, surely this is probably beyond. This is now indulgence. But he's like, I see you. I see that thought. I see that feeling. I see that self-doubt. I see that second guessing sometimes. I tend to second guess myself a lot and think, oh, even this video, I'm like, should I do it? Should I not? But I'm just like, my brother asked me to do it, and I do like to encourage people. So I'm like, you know what, God, I will just do it, and let's see where it takes us. Let's see how it works out. It brings life. I guess you're for that. And God's like, I see you questioning and wondering and thinking, but God's saying, I know you, I see you. It immediately frees me of the desire or the need to be applauded or approved by people. I love people's approval. I'd love people's applause and their embrace. But knowing that God knows you and accepts you and loves you where you're at, only because of the position of your heart, not because of anything you've actually done, that is so assuring. That is like the 101 of therapy, isn't it? To give you, even if you're going to think of positive thoughts, I think this would be a truth that if it's embedded in your thoughts, even your self-talk will be quite what can I say, garnished with light and hope, and not airy-fairy kind of, oh Lord, it's hope energy, but truly knowing that God knows me. And I may never grasp what that actually means, but in my day-to-day life, I can go through things knowing that the creator of the universe knows me, only because my heart position, the stance of my heart is, I love him. Okay, moving on. My encouragement is embrace this truth and let it be the simple reason why you don't get intimidated by life's circumstances, but rather you live as if everything is rigged in your favor. You refuse to let anything take away hope from you. It's not living with rose-tinted glasses like, okay, everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright, but it's living life not intimidated, living life with courage, doing it afraid when you're tempted to be intimidated, knowing that the God of the universe has your back. He's got you. You got these three boys getting into a pit of fire, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Because I don't know what was going through their minds. I don't know what they were thinking, or if they were thinking, or if they were tempted to fear. But the one thing they knew is there is a God. He knows us, and He will. If He will, He'll rescue us. Same thing as our brother Daniel. I mean, if you know lions, they don't play. They do not play. They don't play. But I'm thinking, the assurance of a God who knows him caused Daniel to be like, even in the lion's den, God will see me and He knows me. And if he will come into that situation and rescue me and put me on dry ground. So, all that to say, he or she or anyone who loves God is known by him. You are known by God. You are known by God. You are known by God. You may spend the rest of your life trying to get to know God, trying to get to understand some of the circumstances, but never ever forget that you are known by God. God bless you, and I hope that made a little bit of sense. Simple, I think, but it's something that has been a watershed for me in life. And for when the dark cloud of feeling low or being overwhelmed tries to loom on me, just push it back by this simple truth of knowing that I am known by God. Rani Musambasi. God knows you. So it's a wrap, and